Online retailer RueLaLa is acquiring Hudson Bay-owned Gilt Group. The two e-commerce brands will continue to operate independently under the newly formed Gilt Group. And joining us now with more on the deal, Michael Rubin, Executive Chairman of RueLaLa, CEO of parent company Kinetic. And I've gotten to know you, and I know that you paid a lot less than what the Post is saying for this. I saw that Hudson supposedly paid $250 million, $250, and the Post thinks you paid the same amount, that they didn't lose any money. But with swirling around, you paid $100 million for it and got an unbelievable deal. What's true?
Yeah, we did pay a lot less than the original $250, but to be honest,
you did. Okay.
We did pay a lot less. This is actually a company that I've wanted to buy since 2009. There's probably not been a deal that I've worked on longer than acquiring.
Can you believe you're getting it for what you're getting it for?
You know, to me, it's really, can I believe
you don't want to gloat?
No, to me, I think it was actually a great outcome for Saks. It wasn't working for them. I think their stock's actually was up nicely on the news because it's going to get rid of.
You know how to do it. Yeah.
And for us, it's a major win because RueLaLa and Gilt essentially have the identical business models, and there's tremendous leverage. It's kind of like when TJ Maxx bought Marshalls 25 years ago, and that's been an incredible.
Yeah, but they were appealing to a similar group. These aren't RueLaLa and Gilt are. There's no overlap in who their clientele is.
Yeah,
really.
I'd say
15%.
Yeah, and I'd say TJ Maxx and Marshalls probably had a similar overlap at the time they did the deal.
Really?
Yeah, the customer base, the average orders are pretty similar. The demographics of the customers are pretty similar. Generally, a younger customer under 40 years old makes more than $100,000 a year. But what's interesting for us, if you really think about it, RueLaLa has 600 full-time people that wake up every morning, go to bed obsessed about giving the best experience for their members. Well, we're going to add 150 employees to bring on Gilt into the Gilt family, but we're going to be able to run that entire business. So there's huge efficiency. Again, it's really, I just looked, I was amazed yesterday for the first time. TJ Maxx had less than $1 billion market cap when they bought Marshalls. And look at the incredible business they built. We think we have the same opportunity. The off-price business is doing amazing. And people think a lot of times the private sales space isn't doing well. It's actually doing great. VIP shops in China, Zulily that got bought by QVC, Van Privé that created the original model, and we believe there's now 4 global players, and we're one of those 4 global players in the business.
Are you going to change anything about Gilt? Is it going to operate as it does now? Do you have to be a member? How does it work?
Yeah, I think the business model to the member and to the consumer will be identical. What will completely change now, it's going to be 1 fulfillment infrastructure versus 2, 1 technology platform versus 2. It's going to be 1 buying and merchandising team versus 2. So we're going to run it as 1 business, but it's going to be to the consumer, it's going to be completely distinctive and separate sites.
Here's what I didn't understand. I remember when Saks bought Gilt. I've been watching Gilt a long time, been buying from it for a long time.
I've been trying to find something you'd spend a lot of money with.
Well, I never understood why Saks couldn't make that work. That seemed like it was going to be a match that worked very well and would offer them a way into online that they didn't really have.
Yeah, you know, I can't speak to it specifically, but at the highest level, generally what I found is when you have an entrepreneurial team that's focused on doing one thing and doing one thing really well, they generally succeed. And you could say, why haven't other companies been successful as Fanatics that are in the sporting goods business? Because we're 100% focused on the licensed sports category. Within the RueLaLa business, having 600 people that are waking up and going to bed obsessed with doing only one thing, which is running the private sales space, when you put a company like Gilt into a bigger company, I think it's, in a lot of times, it goes into the different matrix departments of that company. It becomes harder to operate. So we couldn't be more confident with this. Again, I'm not exaggerating when I say we've worked over 9 years to buy this company. We've been at the finish line multiple different times, and we know exactly how to give the best experience for the members. You know, for our brand partners, the biggest thing we hear from the brands that we work with is we love working with you, but how do we do more business? This doubles the size of the business. This will make us a $1 billion plus business over the next few years.
And you took stuff that eBay didn't want,
right? Yeah.
And it was like the sort of leftovers, and turned that into an unbelievable business. This probably has more potential, in your view, than what you did the first time around. You've done it before, too.
It's probably a perfect example, because if you look at it, I don't think the companies that I bought back from eBay, they were right for selling us those companies because they knew that they wouldn't thrive in the big eBay environment. But for us as entrepreneurial owners focused on running these businesses, we've gotten great results. And it's the same thing here. We can look at the Gilt business and know exactly what to do to improve it. How do we make sure we have the right brands for the customer every day? How do we make sure we have the best experience in every aspect of what we do for our customers? So we're incredibly confident putting these 2 businesses together that we're going to have a good multi-brand growth platform. And for us, for our employees, this is something they've really dreamed of, that they've heard about. There's been rumors of this for years. I looked yesterday, somebody said, Michael, we thought this was getting done 4 years ago. So did we. So
did Saks make an effort to integrate the functions of both businesses when they bought it?
They did.
So merchandising, fashion, all of that was put together.
I believe so. And look, Saks runs a great business. This is a very different type of business. So if you really think about it, Saks is about building the Saks business, the Saks Off Fifth business. And I think if you look at the history of big retailers and you come from one of the best, when you start creating additional different businesses,
right,
a lot of times they become stepchilds to the main business.
But if you integrated it, you couldn't distinguish it anymore. So they didn't integrate it, because if they did, you wouldn't have been able to unplug it.
I think, it actually was a little bit complicated to unplug it. The business really has become part of Saks today. So if you look at all of the functions, they are part of what Saks does. And so it is a little bit complicated to unintegrate it. But I'll tell you one thing. I really believe in something like this. This is truly a win-win, because it's been a big distraction for Saks. They've been losing money with it.
How long do they have?
They had it for 2 years. For us, it's going to be immediately profitable. So we're going to turn this on next month, and this will make money for us day one. We'll be able to drive the growth and profitability, leveraging the 600 people that we have in place today.
Did you announce how much you're paying for it?
We didn't. I think they actually announced it on the conference call, but it was significantly less.
Like 100.
It was a bit less than that, but yeah.
Oh, great.
I mean, back to Saks for a minute. We bought something called Georgia Lighting many years ago. We bought it because of their design capabilities. We bought it for their sourcing capabilities. And then we did a dumb thing. We began to look at them as a standalone business, and we were looking at their comp sales, and, hey, wait a minute. That's not why we bought it. We bought it to take what they did good and put it into 2,000 stores, where the numbers would have been off the page. So I don't know what Saks did, but it sounds to me like it never was really accepted into the family in total.
I got to tell you something, and you guys will probably remember this. In 2001, at my old company, GSI Commerce, we bought a company called Ashford.com. And I was really excited when we bought it, and I was really excited when we sold it, because it was a complete disaster. Couldn't have got anything more wrong than we did. And my point is, you know what? We've done a lot of M&A. We've done some really good things. We've done a lot of okay things, and we've done some bad things. And when something's not working, the best thing you can do is get rid of it and move on. And the great thing in this particular situation is Saks is going to be thrilled. They're going to be focused on their core business. And for us, we've got a company we've been focused on owning for 9 years. We now have 20 million combined customers in this business. We've got 60% of the business we're doing is all on the mobile device. So it's really like you've got two companies perfectly fit together, set up to have a lot of growth. So it really is a great
Kenny, this guy's really sharp, and he's a real businessman with a social conscience too, and I've gotten to know him well. So, but I like putting you on the spot though too. So
I like to be put on the spot.
I like putting you on the spot. So he's Kenny, he's fanatics. So he's all the sports paraphernalia. So it's good to know that the national anthem thing is all fixed for next season.
Return?
Hold on. Please. So it's good to know that it's all fixed.
He wants to talk about the return policy.
I know.
Wait, hold on. You want to talk about the anthem?
I want to talk about
policy. Hold on. What do you want to talk about?
So the Eagles aren't going today. So, I like Goodell or not, I don't know how he handled it last year. They tried to fix it now this year. What's it going to look like when the season starts now? It doesn't look like it's fixed. It looks like it's even worse at this point.
Look, I told you when I was on talking about the Nike partnership that we did with the NFL last week that this was a really complicated issue. And I think what happened last night with the Eagles shows what a complicated issue this truly is.
How's it going to work itself out? Is NFL going to be down another 10% this year?
No, I think, look, first of all, again, our NFL results, and I've been very clear about this, we're up 40% this year on a big base. The single biggest business we have is the NFL. They're up
for jerseys and for paraphernalia.
And Fanatics. The single biggest business we have is the NFL. They're up 40%. So our business is rocking. That said, as I said last week, the risk of not getting this right to the overall long-term health of the business is a real risk. So everyone's very focused on it. I didn't think last week that this was the permanent long-term stop. I thought this was a step forward. And I think, teams have never required that players go to attend the White House. And certainly, I think players are voting when you see so few people wanting to.
Trump's saying staying in the locker room is the same as kneeling, and a lot of the people that want to continue with the protests say that you're taking away my First Amendment rights the way it is right now. So neither side, you didn't satisfy either side. They're both getting more entrenched.
I agree with that, and I think, you know, I'm a uniter. I think we need to unite here. I think we need to bring people together, and I think, you know, there will be. I think this is a step in the process, and I think as we go forward, the NFL is very smart. Things
Really?
They don't always get. By the way, like us, we don't always get everything right up front. Sometimes you got to iterate. You got to keep going to things. I think this is a work in progress, and I think there's more to be done.
All right, thank you.
I let you put me on the spot.
No, you do like that because you have thoughts and ideas, and they're useful.
Every once in a while, I have some.
But they're useful.
Yes.
They're useful, and you know, I mean, as well as anyone.
What is your return policy?
So you see,
There you go.
I like going back to a nice, I like going back to a nice, peaceful question. So for RueLaLa and Gilt, they both have very liberal return policies.
Right.
We want to make sure.
Does Home Depot?
Yeah. And I got to tell you something. A happy member continues to come back and buy from us. So we've seen our best members visit the site literally 20 to 30 times. We have many members that visit the site 20 to 30 times a month to buy from us. We have members that buy from us we have tens of thousands of members that buy from us literally 100+ times per year.
Now, you sell NFL paraphernalia.
Your largest retailer of NFL merchandise in the world.
Then you're buying from us. We have a company that processes water bottles. All those garments made of recycled water bottles. The deal is with Nike.
Perfect. And we now make all of the Nike apparel starting April 1st, 2020. So we were coming to talk about better discounts and better pricing here.
I think we ought to
All right,
talk.
this deal's going to be cut in the commercial break. When we come back, we are counting down to the opening bell on Wall Street. We're going to find out what Jim Cramer's watching ahead of that and get his reaction to our interview with Starbucks outgoing chair Howard Schultz.
You take me places that tear